Hi! So, I received my book today. Finally, it's the 19th of August and... Here's my book today, it's the 19th of August. It was released on the 4th of August and it's finally here. So basically this book has travelled more than I have travelled all this year. And now I'm gonna unbox it. Oh my gosh! So I am sitting in the window. It's rainy weather outside. It just stopped raining right now, but I swear it was raining for like 10 to 15 minutes, and that's why I decided to sit in the window and read Midnight Sun. I'll show you the book. This Midnight Sun, and I'm reading Twilight also. So I am reading Midnight Sun and Twilight side by side. So if anything happens in Midnight Sun, I'll go back to the book Twilight. And then I'll read the same situation from Bella's perspective as well. Talking about the book started out honestly like very okayish, but as it progressed, you start getting these feels like you want to melt away. Hi, so I'm gonna share this thought that I had. Don't consider me mad after this, but it's okay if you do. But just imagine being quarantined with the Cullens. Like all of them. There won't be any problem of you contracting the disease because obviously they won't ever contract the disease, and there's not even a problem of you giving them the disease because obviously they are vampires. And moreover, even if like you happen to get the disease, this virus, Carlisle is obviously the doctor and he would give you the best treatment that is there on the planet. You'd get that treatment, and even if you like go this close to death, they would turn you into a vampire. So basically there's no dying with them, and there's no even trouble of giving anybody the disease or taking or contracting it from anyone. And you won't even get bored. There would be a lot of food for you to eat because obviously they don't eat anything from the human diet, and they're all really fascinating people. And I just had this thought and I was so fascinated by it that I wanted to share it here. So far the book is going really great, and as I told you earlier, I'm reading Midnight Sun and Twilight side by side. So it's taking me a lot of time, and I think I'm also doing this because I want to prolong this experience of the whole story. Like you'll get me if you love books and stories. You just want it to last as long as it can, and reading it slow is giving me that pleasure. So since Angela is a very good person and very kind person when it comes to Bella, unlike Jessica, who is sort of very mean and has very mean thoughts running through her head when it comes to Bella, Edward always has this sense of gratitude towards Angela because she's so kind to Bella. And that's why he's always looking out for things that if in case there's something that Angela wants, then he would probably just gift it to her anonymously, and that way like he thinks that he would pay back the kindness he gives to Bella. And this one time he realizes that Angela likes this guy called Ben, and surprisingly Ben also likes Angela. So Edward decides to set them up. You don't even want to guess who he asks help for. He asked Emmett to help him to set them up. Come on, he could have asked Alice. Alice would have the perfect plan to do so, but he goes and asks Emmett. They decide to do an act in front of Ben where Emmett will go like,
"Hey Edward, aren't you gonna ask Angela out?"
And then Edward acts all sad and stuff that no, maybe Angela likes some other guy. I heard it from some other kid in the school that she likes some guy whose name is Ben or something. And they do all of this in front of Ben so that Ben realizes that okay, maybe Angela likes me too. And Emmett, in the true Emmett fashion, ruins the whole act. I don't mean ruin the whole act. Edward obviously manages to make it right. But he does things and says things very impromptu. Like when they had pre-planned the whole act, it wasn't decided that Emmett is going to say this. They had decided what to say, what not to say, and when to say. But Emmett just simply says things on his own, and Edward is like, okay, was this even decided to be said? But since Emmett's saying it, obviously he has to make the conversation turn to the correct direction since Ben is already listening. And then he just manages to get impromptu answers for Emmett's statements, and yeah, the act is done. Hello. So today I have 2 points that I want to talk about from this book. Number 1 is when Bella visits Edward's house. She's looking around and things are just happening. And there's just one line, just one small sentence where Edward thinks that the line goes like, I hadn't thought about pomegranate seeds until now. Something like that. And that is just so abrupt and felt so out of context that I decided to search it up on Google. And I also thought that it might be significant because the cover of the book actually has pomegranate seeds, and he also thinks about pomegranate seeds very abruptly. So I searched it up on Google if there was any sort of significance or a myth or a saying associated with pomegranate seeds, and I came up with something really interesting. Pomegranate seeds are associated with life, and they are also known as a symbol of like really great power. And in Greek and Persian mythology, pomegranate seeds are a symbol for life, eternal life, beauty, and fertility. So it wasn't until that moment that Edward actually thought of eternal life and fertility, until the moment that Bella visited his house and met his vampire family members. And I think it's such a beautiful and such a thoughtful idea of having this pomegranate and the pomegranate seeds on the cover of the book. Initially I had a thought as to why the pomegranate seed, and I mean what is the significance even of the title, but then when I discovered both the significances, it was like such an enlightening moment. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was a scene where Edward is reading Billy Black's mind, and Billy Black is reminiscing a call that he got years ago from Carlisle. So it goes like, Billy Black all his life has only heard about the vampires, the treaty that they have with the vampires, and the legends of werewolf ancestors. But not once in his entire life has he actually encountered a situation with a vampire on his own. When Carlisle decides to move to Forks with his entire family, he decides to give a prior call to Billy Black just to inform him that we are coming and no one in the town will be harmed because of us, and like we won't take the treaty, so there's nothing to be worried about us. And the way she has described this entire situation, the seriousness of this entire situation, you actually start feeling the tension of Billy Black in your own body. Like, come on, Carlisle and the entire Cullen family is completely harmless and they are not going to break any treaty or anything. But you actually start feeling the worries of Billy Black too, despite the knowledge that the Cullens aren't going to do anything. And come on, it's fiction, it's just a made up story, but you still feeling that horror in real life. That's when you know that the author has done an absolutely amazing job. So I finally finished the book. I actually finished it a day before yesterday, but then I forgot to record all of this. So here I am finally with the book. The book ended on a really beautiful note again. In the acknowledgement section especially. She has written it in such a creative manner that I have to read it out to you. It's just so beautiful. You cannot miss it. And look at this. See, she's actually given place for the reader to write their name. And I'll read out a few acknowledgements to you because I think that they were just too beautiful. Here she thanks her business partner. It reads like, my business partner, her name, and then who keeps Fickle Fish Productions on track while I abandon the physical world for long periods of time. This is so creative. And then another acknowledgement. So many authors who have created incredible worlds for me to escape into. And then the acknowledgement for the reader. It goes like, and finally, the readers who are so patiently eager for this book. I never would have finished without your support. You belong on this page. Please write your name on the line below and give yourself a high five. And then she's given some space for the readers to write their names. I've written mine. The book began and ended on such beautiful notes. I mean, the acknowledgement part, especially as I read it out to you, it could have been blank thank yous and stuff, but then it was written in such a creative manner. I loved it so much. I was so eager to read this book, and now it's never going to be the same because the first time it's done. So yeah, the book has finally been read, and after finishing this book off, I just feel like I have come out of a movie theater after having watched a movie for almost 15 to 20 days, and the whole world, this whole reality simply seems some sort of a blur or a haze, and it's
Quite annoying.
but I hope that I get to visit Forks, Washington sometime soon and see the whole Twilight world, maybe get an Edward there. What a joke. And listen, if you have watched this video so far, to let me know that you have watched the video so far, maybe comment down below Forks, Washington, Washington, and I'll know that you have watched the video so far. And thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. I think it's going to be a poem or something. Let's see. But thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye.